Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry over the past week. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Keep them coming in. If you're watching us on TV, you can catch the show. Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. You can even watch us on our website, turnpikesports.us. We're right on the homepage. You can watch this episode there. If you're subscribing to the audio, you can find us on Amazon Music, Pandora Podcasts, as well as the new Samsung Podcast page. This week, in our state and national reports, we've got some September numbers coming from Maryland, Indiana, New Jersey, New York, and several others. Deals, we've got a pair of deals involving Prohibet. We've also got a pair of deals involving Betfred.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And also a deal involving the National Council on Problem Gambling.
Oh, all right.
Industry updates. We've got a bunch of launches to talk about. Illinois, Maryland. We've also got a new brand product, I should say, being launched by Ellis Game Technology.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then we'll finish up the show with our legislative roundup with news coming out of North Carolina, Michigan, and Missouri.
I hear some fantasy operators are not very happy with North Carolina.
At the current time. We're going to do our state and national...
Some things need to be worked out.
We're going to do our state and national reports right after this.
80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom. Don't put yourself or a loved one at risk. There's a safe bathing system for everyone's budget.
Enjoy a bathing experience that combines safety, comfort, and excellence. If assisted living is not for you, a BCI walk-in tub may well be the answer, giving you the safety and freedom to live independently. A BCI walk-in tub is the most affordable and comfortable walk-in tub in the market today. With our dual drain technology, your tub will drain quickly, and for those that still like the feature of a shower, our two-way bliss gives you both a handheld and overhead shower head. We offer the best financing in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months with approved credit. For comfort, safety, price, and selection, it's got to be BCI Walk-In Tub. Be one of the first 50 callers and save $1,500.
Call 800-354-4377, 800-354-4377 for a free no obligation in-home consultation.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our state and national reports segment traveling back in time to the month of August.
Okay. Wait. Arizona?
We have Arizona.
There we go.
Well, both Arizona and Illinois
okay.
have both reported their numbers for August, so now we have the final top 10 sports betting handles by state for the month of August.
So we're talking August.
We're talking August. We're
almost near Halloween, and we're talking August. Okay.
Needless to say, New York number one, $1.12 billion in handle.
Wait. Can I try the top five?
Remember, this is August, so
this is August. Okay. August, which is a big tourist month. I'm trying to think of how Nevada fits in here, but I'm just going to do the New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's either New Jersey or Illinois. I'm going to do New Jersey,
Okay.
Illinois,
Yep.
Nevada.
Yep.
Here's the tough one. I'm thinking it's either Ohio or Pennsylvania. I'm going to go with Ohio.
It's Pennsylvania this time.
Oh, damn it.
But only by about 20 million.
Oh,
Only
come
20
on.
million.
Oh.
You have Pennsylvania fifth spot.
Ohio, what's up? Oh, come on.
Pennsy had 393 million. Ohio had 379 million.
So I got the top four
Yeah.
right, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you have Arizona, Virginia, Massachusetts, and Maryland rounding out the top 10.
All right.
So good showing by both New York and New Jersey. We're going to be talking both of those again later on in this segment. We've got some September sports betting numbers with their September sports betting report. Indiana became the 7th state to surpass $13 billion in all-time total handle, $13,393 million and some change.
Wow. Okay.
Also, the all-time revenue for the state passed $1.15 billion. One of the few states that can say that.
Wow. Okay.
Over in Maryland, we have Maryland reporting their September numbers. The state of Maryland became the 10th state to top $3 billion in handle in this year, 2023.
Okay. And this is September.
This is now September. We have moved
we've
forward in time now.
traveled in time to September.
Yes. Also, Maryland's all-time handle passed $4 billion already. That's a young state still.
It's a great market. Everyone who goes to Maryland and checks out their casinos and sports books, they love it. I think they have some of the best poker rooms too.
Yes.
So,
And
it's a good market.
going down south a little bit, we've got Tennessee. They reported their numbers, and ever since they changed the way they report their numbers, really all you report on is taxes and handle. But the taxes is the interesting part of this, that as everyone knows, Maryland changed their tax structure. Instead of doing revenue, they're taxing handle. In the 2 months since they changed their methodology for the taxing,
That's Tennessee.
this is Tennessee,
Tennessee.
16.1 million in taxes from under the new handle tax of 1.88%.
Tennessee's interesting because Tennessee is only online.
Yes.
Which, I guess Vermont's looking at how Tennessee does it, and I guess Vermont will want to do something like that instead of making actual retail books or casinos or stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think that's fair. Taxing handle. I mean,
It's 1.8%
but it's
of
not
your handle.
But it's money that you received, but it's not money you keep, because it's one of those things where if people win a lot, people win big on a Super Bowl or March Madness, you got to pay a lot of that back. So I don't think that's completely fair. So
It's different.
And, look, I'm not crying for the sports books; they make a lot of money, and
Well, don't go that far.
They
bring in a lot of money.
They bring in a lot of money, but
bring in a lot
that's
of
the
money.
issue too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's money they get, but it's money they have to hold until all the bets are complete, and then they pay it out. So it's not like money they hold on to. That's why they call it the hold. After all bets are paid, the sportsbook have a hold, which means they hold on to that small portion of the handle that they get. So that's what they should be taxed on. That's just my feelings.
I think they did enough studies that it's half dozen of one, half dozen of another. So 6 of one, half dozen of another, however that phrase goes. But also with September, we have the state of Kansas setting a new record handle for the state.
Oh, okay.
They brought in $219 million and some change. Their previous record was $206.3 million in March.
So what the hell's going on in Kansas? Huh?
Lots of betting.
I guess so, man.
Also, Kansas became the 21st state to top $2 billion in all-time handle. Speaking of the states that begin with K, we have Kentucky that just recently launched.
Yeah. So what are they a month old, or maybe a month and a half old?
Actually,
Their
started
retail early September,
right.
So their retail is a month,
and
their
online
old.
and their online was
started
the end of September.
The end of the 28th.
So we have
September 28th. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
From early September to the start of October, according to Governor Andy Beshear of Kentucky, $72 million bet in total, online and retail together.
Okay.
The weekend, September 28th through October 1st. 68 million in sports bets.
I think it's great.
That's partially the online launch too.
Yeah.
Going over to the Northeast, I mean, you just mentioned Vermont. We've got Massachusetts reporting their September numbers. With their sports betting report in September, Commonwealth of Massachusetts recorded its third month of at least $500 million in handle and at least $50 million in gross gaming revenue. Very good numbers.
well, you
for
know what?
Massachusetts.
Because people in Massachusetts are betting on the Patriots and they're losing.
Yeah.
So-
and
so-
they probably did a lot of
Oh my God! Last week,
betting
boy,
on some of the Bruins now,
oh,
too.
I think what was it? The Patriots were +3 last week, and they were going into the last couple of minutes, the last 2 minutes, last minute and a half or something like that, and they were just losing by 2 points. So if you bet on the Patriots, you had it covered. You know, they were great, and then Mac Jones gets sacked in the end zone, and there's the safety, and they're
all gone.
there's the money. It's all gone.
Massachusetts became the 11th state with $3 billion in handle for this year, 2023.
Okay.
DraftKings set a state record in
Oh,
terms of handle, 290,142,168 cents. That was the highest total by any sports betting operator in the state since its launch.
Okay,
this year.
DraftKings. That's DraftKings home state.
Yep.
They actually have their corporate headquarters are on. Is it Beacon Street or
Something like that.
yeah, something like that.
But also, kind of interesting with DraftKings in Massachusetts, not only did they record over 50% of the handle, they also had about 50% of the revenue.
Oh, okay.
So they are kings of Massachusetts.
What's that slogan they have? The crown is yours.
There you
So
go.
there you go. They have a crown on it. DraftKings.
Yep.
There you go.
But
I expect all these numbers to really shoot up in the next couple of weeks because we have the sports equinox. We have baseball and football and
Hockey.
we have hockey going right
Yep.
now, and soon
basketball.
Well, probably by the time this airs,
Yep.
basketball will be started. Who knows? I don't even know. But
Now, we got some interesting numbers for New Jersey. New Jersey just recently released their September numbers, and everyone has been talking about how well New York is doing. As you remember, last
sure.
week we reported the September handle number for New York State, $1.76 billion for the entire month of September. Now everyone's talking about how New York is bleeding off the New Jersey industry, sports betting industry. This could be an outlier. No one knows. We'll have to wait and see what happens in October here. But September, New Jersey came out with $1.299 billion for the month.
yeah.
That is an incredible number. $1.255 billion of that, almost 98% of it, was online.
Yeah, no,
Mobile,
online.
Mobile, I should say, mobile.
Mobile,
Yeah.
yeah, great. But also, I think New Jersey's getting a boost, especially with handle, because
Yes.
Jets and Giants, there's a sports book there, and it's in New Jersey. So
Yes.
I know they're called the New York Jets and the New York Giants, but they play in New Jersey, and there's it's PointsBet, and it's a FanDuel and a PointsBet
Yes,
kind
exactly.
of thing.
Well,
yeah.
it's going to be Fanatics
Well,
at some point.
Should I say PointsBet, a Fanatics experience?
Right now, that's how you have to say it.
PointsBet, a Fanatics experience.
Exactly.
So, but no, they FanDuel and PointsBet have a sports book right there, and they share same parking lot.
A couple other notes from New Jersey. Revenue total was enough to make New Jersey the first state in the post-PASPA era to surpass $3 billion in operator revenue.
Okay.
First state.
Wow.
They cleared that benchmark by about $80 million.
Okay.
So first state to hit $3 billion in operator revenue. Also, the
New York is going to do that by next
yeah.
week.
Oh,
so.
probably.
Although New York does have a high tax rate,
Well,
so that might keep things down a little bit. So.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing with New York. New York is trailing in certain areas because of that high tax rate, or the high percentage tax rate, I should say, not the high tax rate.
51%. So.
So, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see where New Jersey goes from here in terms of whether or not this was an outlier and they go back down to the 800, 700 million that they've been kicking out lately, monthly. But I think a lot of it has to do with the football season.
Well, look, I mean, football season, certainly we have, the Eagles are just across the river. You can see New Jersey from the stadium, so there's a lot of sports betting there and in southern Jersey and things like that. But let me tell you something. Like I said, hockey is going to be a big startup for New Jersey because the Devils play there, and there's a lot of New York sports fans in northern Jersey, and they'll throw some bets down on it. But I think it's going to be great for New Jersey this fall.
And final note for the segment here, in New York for the week ending October 8th. The mobile revenue passed $2.5 billion, and mobile tax revenue passed $1.3 billion.
Wow, great.
That's it for our state and national reports. Let's head on over to some deals. This week in our deals section, Prohibet and U.S. Integrity have a pair of deals to talk about, one domestically and one internationally.
Okay.
Prohibet has entered into a deal. Prohibet's the joint venture with Odds On Compliance and U.S. Integrity, actually the newly merged Odds On Compliance and U.S. Integrity.
It seems like they're in the news every week.
Yes.
They're doing so much in this industry. It's amazing what they're doing.
They're much needed service.
Absolutely.
Everything they do is
I think
needed.
it's great. So.
Domestically, Better Holdings, BETR, the sports betting operator, announced a partnership with Prohibet. I'm having trouble talking here. Prohibet for the utilization of Prohibet's advanced, fully encrypted, decentralized, cross-monitoring, and notification platform. Basically, Prohibet.
Yes, Prohibet.
And on the international side, betting operator Betano announced a partnership with U.S. Integrity, which will give them access to Prohibet, as well as the monitoring software and tools that U.S. Integrity has previously released under the company.
Yeah, at one point, I think every betting operator is going to get with Prohibet. It's such a great idea. It's just absolutely, I think it's revolutionizing integrity systems out there. So,
with every betting operator becoming involved in preventing underage gambling, student athletes, coaches, not just underage gambling, but prohibited gambling, I should say, depending on what regulations you're looking at. But Prohibet does play a role in preventing student athletes, coaches, and collegiate staff from engaging in prohibited sports betting.
Which is hugely important.
Yes.
I mean, after the news stories coming out this fall about the, University of Alabama and things like that, I think this is so neat. What is it, Iowa State? Is it Iowa State? They had an issue there too.
They've had several colleges have.
But Prohibet came to this industry at such a great time when, look, sports betting's still spreading, and integrity systems and integrity monitoring are so important to keeping this, industry moving forward. And I think that is crucial.
Couple of deals to talk about regarding Betfred overseas, not over here in the United States, but international.
Okay.
We got Betfred announcing the extension of its flagship sponsorship arrangement with Super League. That is the top-tier English and European rugby league.
Oh, okay. Real rugby action there, huh?
They're extending it for another 3 years. The initial deal began back in 2017, so now it's going to go another 3 years from this year. So it's been a long time with this partnership.
Yeah. Last year I saw a couple of rugby, I guess they're called matches.
Yes.
Rugby matches. But since then I haven't seen too much because I know the U.S. had a team because I think they were playing in Jersey City or something like that. I think it was on ESPN.
That's a local one.
Oh, well, it's, but it's rugby,
Yeah.
I don't get to watch, what was it, Super League?
Super League is overseas.
I would guess they're on a streaming channel, I guess, if you want to watch it, right?
Well, here's the breadth of the deal, or the extension, I should say, or the expansion is a better word. Men's and women's wheelchair rugby.
Wow.
Yes.
I have never seen that.
The England national team.
That must be on a hard floor, right? They can't do it on...
Honestly, I never really thought about. I've seen wheelchair basketball. I've seen wheelchair volley. I never thought of wheelchair rugby. And I actually have to take a look at
by
this.
Ease of movement for wheelchairs, I would think it would not be on a actual field. I would think it'd be on a court somewhere where the wheels can move.
Could be off-road wheelchairs.
Well,
I don't.
like
I said, I've never thought of wheelchair.
No,
rugby.
never, absolutely.
The deal also includes the England national team. You mentioned the U.S. national team. But the England national team is going to be continue to be sponsored by Betfred, and the Challenge Cup, which is the tournament series.
Okay.
That is probably one of the first, if not one of the biggest sponsorships Betfred has maintained over the years.
It's great. Now, rugby's huge.
Staying internationally, Betfred also did a deal with Sports Information Services. so that they will continue to have access to round-the-clock greyhound racing content overseas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So
I didn't know they still had greyhound racing.
Yes.
I think there's only one jurisdiction I think in the U.S. now, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Right?
It's the last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
National Council on Problem Gambling announced a partnership with safer gambling solution provider Mindway AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
know
For
that.
more responsible gambling initiatives, the council will be integrating Mindway's Gamealize solution. It's a combination of gaming and analyze.
Okay.
Gamealize solution into the responsibleplay.org website. So there will be more resources available. There'll be more engaging and actionable insights for people who visit the site and need help in terms of problem gambling and responsible play.
Good. Good.
So congratulations to that. It's always needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Between Prohibet and, like Mindway AI's Gamealize,
I know, it's great.
this is actually turning into a well-rounded responsible gaming industry, not just in the United States, but also in the UK.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I always say what fascinates me about the betting industry and the gaming industry is the technology that's coming out of these industries. I
Yes.
mean, they have these apps that knows what you're watching on TV and forms bets for it, and they have things where they see where you're betting and who's betting, and like if you're betting across state lines. It's absolutely amazing. I always tell the story 2013 when online gambling started in New Jersey. I don't think we had 2/3 of that kind of technology, so it's absolutely incredible how this has grown.
And last deal to quickly mention, Fitzstairs
Oh, okay.
announced the extension of its partnership with Fulham FC as the official UK betting partner of the football
Nice.
club.
Okay.
So that's it for the deals this week. We'll talk industry updates right after this.
Every 40 seconds, a kid is reported missing. Find the Children provides educational material that teaches your kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs are very successful in bringing kids back home to their family. You can help protect our kids and bring the missing kids home safe by donating your unwanted car, truck, SUV, or van, running or not. We guarantee you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast free pickup, usually within 24 hours. Over 2,000 kids are reported missing every day. Call now to donate your vehicle. Donate now to bring these kids home safe.
Call 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. Circus Sports officially launched in Illinois.
Yeah,
finally.
I saw the pictures. They look
Yes.
great.
They are slowly making their way across the country.
I hope so. I hope they
Yes.
get to Jersey. But no, it looks great what they're doing in Illinois. I think Chris Altruda had some pictures
Yes.
on Twitter or X,
whatever you wanna
you
call it,
call it.
yeah.
So when you tweet something now, do you X something or what? How?
I still call it Twitter.
I don't know.
I call it Twitter.
I don't even know the conjugation. Of that
I think
verb.
I've actually started going by the phrasing, I'm going to tag you in my social media page.
Okay. Well,
So,
all right.
but this is the new brick and mortar
Yeah, looks great.
at the American Place in Waukegan. It's still a temporary location
Mm-hmm.
until the formal Full House Resort opens up.
Okay.
Brian Urlacher was at the ribbon cutting.
Mm-hmm.
They had meet and greets. They had photo opportunities, app sign-ups, because not only did the retail book open, the app was launched
Yeah,
too.
that's great. See, I can't wait till Circa gets to Jersey.
Yes.
So.
They also had, besides Urlacher, you had CEO Derek Stevens, always at an opening.
He's really good
yes.
on the radio. He's real. I hear
Yes.
him on VEASAN all the time. So
Yeah,
he's
and-
very good.
You also had Mike Palm there.
Equally as
Exactly.
good.
General manager of American Place Casino, which is where they're going to be opening the actual permanent book. When that opens, the American Place Casino is the name of the brand new resort coming out. They had their general manager there, Jeff Babinski, and also the mayor of Waukegan, Ann Taylor, was there.
Great.
Like I said,
Let me tell you something. If you get a chance, go do an opening of a retail sports book. It's a lot of fun.
yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Speaking of opening of retail sports books, we're going over to Maryland. We've got Betfred Sports launching their state-of-the-art sports book at Longshots,
Oh, wow.
which
Nice.
is an OTB location in the capital region of Maryland. It's a 157-seat, 80-panel television wall
Wow.
physical book, 12 self-service kiosks, and tons of beer.
Okay, great.
I mean, the
By the way-
press release made mention of an extensive selection of beers on tap.
Yeah. Do you really have to say self-service kiosks? I mean, aren't all kiosks self-service?
Yes, I
Are
know.
you just like
Yeah.
repeating?
It's almost redundancy
Yeah,
when it comes to
it's-
some of this stuff.
They have 12 kiosks.
Yes, it's kind of interesting. They're integrating some new technology into this book where patrons can place cash bets at the betting windows, or they can deposit and withdraw funds from their Betfred account.
Oh,
At the
okay.
book.
See, I like
So,
that.
A little ease of use
casinos-
and technology there.
Kind of
Yeah.
casinos are starting to do that, especially in where you have jurisdictions where online casinos are allowed. There you go on to the online site, and then you visit the brick and mortar site, and you have your bankroll on your player's card, and it's a cashless casino. So it's a cashless gaming floor. So we're going to see a lot more of that.
You know, a feature I want to see at a sports book, if you're using a app that is related to the book you're in, the retail book you're in.
Yeah.
You know, let's say you go to like a FanDuel sports book up and look at the Meadowlands, and you have the FanDuel sports betting app. I'd love to see an option, because some people like this, where you can actually put your bet down through the app, but print it out and have somebody give you a paper version of it
Yeah.
from the betting window. I mean, you don't have to place your bet there, but you can have it printed out and have someone, because a lot of people like having something in front of them.
Oh, sure.
Well,
you can-
I know you write down your bet.
I do. I have, these
Yes.
pads here. I have a little book here. All my bets that I probably shouldn't do that. Just because I have my phone and it's kind of stupid. I don't know if you call that old school or stupid or what, but no. Some of these advances in technology. Let me tell you something. I'm still old school, like I said with the paper. My best technology that I've seen in a sports book was the beer wall in Atlantic City. What was
Sounds
it?
like what they have
Caesars?
in Maryland there.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
the Caesars has a beer wall. I thought that was fantastic. Like all the taps face you. It's great.
Couple of quick notes to end the segment. Ellis Game Technology. Everyone knows them from all their different sports betting partnerships they have. Like in D.C., they got 3 books with different partners, Cloakroom and the Grand Central brand that they have. They have now launched sportbet.com, which is their standalone online and mobile sports betting brand in the United States.
Okay.
So they're going.
So what's that called again?
Sportbet.com.
Sportbet.com.
By Ellis Game Technology.
Okay. All right.
And also DraftKings, and this was making the rounds everywhere on social media, X, Twitter, plus also other places. People were finding these new trademark applications filed by DraftKings for DraftKings Pick 6 and DraftKings Pick 6. The difference is Pick 6, one with the number.
Oh, one spelled out. Okay.
Yeah. And it's
it just sounds like a predictive game, doesn't it? Or
well, according to the description of services.
I'm just guessing.
I
didn't read this the application. So.
I did. They're all the same.
Okay.
Downloadable mobile applications for use in fantasy sports competitions.
Oh, okay.
Namely, mobile applications for managing and participating in fantasy sports competitions and entertainment services in the nature of fantasy sports competition.
Okay.
So we may be
I wasn't
seeing,
even thinking fantasy.
People are thinking that we may see a new version of fantasy sports coming down the line from DraftKings.
Okay.
I actually took this step further, and I took a look at FanDuel.
Uh-huh.
Nothing new has been filed trademark-wise for them. Some of the other fantasy outfits have not had any trademarks filed either. DraftKings is basically launching this. I know there was a survey by DraftKings on fantasy sports as well. So things are kind of adding up that maybe we're going to see a new product at some point. Possibly.
That's
possibly.
interesting.
Yeah.
You always love going to the trademark application sites because it's one of those you can almost predict what's going to happen, and you almost see what they have in mind and their business plan sort of for the next year or two. So that's interesting. Was it DraftKings Pick 6?
DraftKings Pick 6.
Okay.
These are all intent to use. These are not in use yet. So, and again, an intent to use application, I do this for a living. So intent to use application doesn't necessarily mean there's a product coming down the road. It just means this is a possible name for the product.
Yeah, they want to hold the name so no one else gets it.
Exactly.
So what happens usually, right, is then they file when it's out in commerce, and that's when it kind of transitions into an actual trademark.
It goes intent to use, and if it gets through the opposition period and everything else, and it's approved by the trademark office, they've got a certain amount of time to file a statement of use in commerce.
Okay.
And we're at the stage where they just filed these. So these were filed October 6th.
Does it usually mean that it's in the works or it's pretty much done?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily doesn't mean anything? Okay.
No.
All right.
But again, it's only October 6th. They just filed those that date. You got a long way to go before you even get to an examiner right now because the trademark office has been backed up for quite a while since the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it for the industry updates. Let's finish up with our legislative roundup. And finalizing the show this week, we've got our legislative roundup. And while everything is still going on in Florida, I thought we'd focus on a couple other states this week.
Sure.
We could have a whole show on the Florida situation all by itself.
Yeah.
We've got some news coming out of North Carolina. The North Carolina Sports Betting Committee met publicly for the first time ever since being formed, and they unveiled a 64-page document of 48 sports betting and pari-mutuel rules for the upcoming launch of the sports betting industry, the commercial sports betting industry in the state.
Can I just say it continues to be a bad week if you're a prop-style fantasy operator?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's not good.
Well, I'm going to combine two states right here in this statement.
Okay.
Following the announcement from Michigan that
and New York.
the new
daily
daily fantasy sports rules
All right.
came into effect in Michigan.
All right.
Nothing yet for New York.
Okay.
But Michigan has put their new fantasy sports betting rule, daily fantasy sports rules banning the games that mimic sports betting are now in effect there. So they're banned in Michigan.
So basically, if you're a daily fantasy provider and you say this quarterback is going to get over these yards or under these yards, that's forbidden because I guess they think it's too close to prop betting.
Yes.
So if you're doing that, you should fall under the sports betting guidelines.
If what you're doing, if a fantasy sports operator is offering a game that looks like you're playing against the house, that's going to run afoul of a lot of these things.
My question is if they just adapt these games if one quarterback against the other quarterback in the game.
That was still fine.
It was still maybe that's kind of.
But they were trying to differentiate themselves in the market by creating the prop bet style fantasy.
Hey, you know what? You do what you can.
Yeah.
Just get your product out there.
But we're going back to North Carolina.
All right.
And this ties into the Michigan and all the daily fantasy sports stuff we were talking about. The rules are still in the public comment phase. And that's going to go until November 1st. There's going to be another hearing of this sports betting committee at the end of this week, on October 27th. According to the Deputy Executive Director of Gaming Compliance and Sports Betting for the state, Sterl Carpenter, the goal is to keep the state on track for the mandated June 15th, 2024 launch.
Okay.
On or before that date, they want to be able to launch, and they're just moving right along, getting everything in order as they get closer and closer to this mandated launch date. That's the date that's set up in the legislation.
I'm pretty curious. This is going to be a pretty important meeting, pretty important hearing, especially for the daily fantasy operators.
Well, now it will be.
Well, yeah, certainly now it will be. I wonder if did this really take them by surprise, or did they kind of had rumblings of this? But
according to the Coalition for Fantasy Sports, which represents basically Prize Picks, Underdog, and a few others, it's a lobby group. They were assured by the legislature that these types of games that they've been offering, these prop-style games, would still be legal in the state.
Okay.
Under the rules that were just published, they're illegal in the state. And again,
but
it's
that
still
can be worked out.
Exactly.
But my question was, I know Massachusetts Gaming has their meetings on YouTube. Does North Carolina have it? Because that'd be an interesting thing to watch. I think
they have links. They have links to things. So,
I'd be very curious to see that. So.
But they're going to be talking about it, and according to the coalition, they're going to work with the legislature to, I guess, unruffle the feathers that were just ruffled.
Finesse the rules?
Yeah, because they can still alter them before.
Sure.
This is public comment time, so you're going to hear a lot of public comments.
Okay.
So, like I said, Michigan already put their rules into effect. We'll see what happens in North Carolina. Over in Missouri has been trying like crazy over the last couple of years to try and get sports betting passed.
Yeah, no, I know they want it because it was a geo-comply. Anytime there was a state around him that launched, there were people from Missouri trying to, log on to different out-of-state sports books. So, people in Missouri want it.
According to the Secretary of State's office, in a span of 2 days, October 3rd and 4th, 16 sports betting initiative petitions were filed.
Wow.
16.
Wow.
All of them filed basically say the same thing, and they're all filed by the same person, Missouri attorney Alexandra Cossette. She's been working with the sports teams.
Okay.
In the state to actually try and get something on the ballot.
That was going to be my question.
Push.
Is this going to be a legislative thing? Does it have to first go to a ballot?
It's going to go to a ballot.
It has to go to a ballot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what these are for.
Yeah.
These are, they're preparing ballot summaries now.
I'm curious if some people or lawmakers in the state are going to start that crazy kind of statement, hey, it should be an amendment to the Constitution, to the state Constitution, which is just absolutely a massive waste of time and usually unnecessary in states. But it's either a legislative push or they put it on the ballot first and then they figure it out and what happens. So.
Well, these are still going through the process right now. They're just filed. If they're approved, then the Secretary of State prepares a ballot summary, which is reviewed by the Attorney General's office. If that's approved, then it moves to the next stage where it gets closer to being put on the next ballot.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Maybe at some point Missouri will have sports betting.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Not anytime soon.
No. Well, we don't know.
No, they want it. Hey, it's a big push. It's you see the money that's being generated. You see, they always like to say fan engagement. Certainly a lot of people are watching sports and that haven't watched sports in a long time. So.
Well, the pro teams in Missouri want it. So.
Oh, absolutely.
And they've already got deals with some of the casinos in there too.
Well, look, all the pro teams travel to other arenas and other stadiums that have sports betting, and they see that and they see what's going on. So,
Well, good luck in Missouri.
Absolutely.
That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. If you've been following along on TV, the ticker has been going by with additional news stories we didn't have a chance to cover in this half hour, and a full print version of the Turnpike Sports book report for this past week will be put up on our blog, turnpikesports.us, and click on the blog button. You'll see a full print version there later today.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.